Hi, good evening, everyone. Right, thank you very much for being with me for another Facebook Live video episode of the day. So, hope you guys remember me, right? So, my name is Varun, right? I'm an English language instructor and also an English language trainer here at Overseas Point in Fall. By the way, right, last episode we discussed about the importance of, pronunciation in English language. And by the way, right, today we are also trying, to continue the thing which we left out, okay, a few of the important things in the last week. So, well, I hope we're gonna go, okay, easy on it, right? So, okay, if we remember, by the way, right, English language is quite very different from the rest of the other languages. And in the English language, of course, sometimes a basic learner, okay, finds it little difficult, by the way. So when it comes in terms of, pronunciation, in terms of, okay, spelling, because sometimes we have a same spelling, and again, of course, we have a different pronunciation. So when the speaker fails to pronounce the exact pronunciation, we supposed to articulate of a word, and of course when we try to communicate with the other speaker, especially the native English speakers, they fail to understand our language, because these are the things, especially the English language learners are facing the issue. But of course there's nothing to worry about it. And of course, by the way, once again I'm bringing back whatever we left out, and few of the important things we had already discussed on that day. So let's get into that. So by the way, so let's remember, I have a few tips like how we are going to go easy on it, and then like especially the listeners should not find it difficult to understand when we try to convey a message. So because when we try to speak, when we try to deliver something, the most important thing is we try to convey the message, because the message is something pretty much important. So if we pronounce, let's say like if we mispronounce some of the words, by the way, the listener especially, they are finding it too difficult to understand what he is really trying to say on that. So in that case, right, we need to concentrate on few things. So let's try to go with one by one. Of course, I'm having right now 4 easy steps. And by the way, it's very easy. If okay, I'm gonna give you the guarantee that you and I will not do the same mistake which we used to do earlier when we try to start learning a language, right? So the number one, what I do have is, especially the native English speakers, they often drop the sound in the sense, okay, let's say like maybe a vowel sound, or maybe consonant sound, or let's say like a syllable or syllables, or maybe a consonant, or sometimes a consonant or consonant. So because of dropping, or because of eliding some syllables, let's say some sounds, or some vowels or consonants, the listeners, they fail to understand. Or sometimes we, okay, let's say like especially we people, when the learners, we fail to understand. That's why what we do is that we try to give an additional let's say like a syllable, right, instead of telling, for example, of course I got some more examples. I have been trying to collect some of these examples so that things are going to be so easy with us, right? So now I have one example. Of course, let's say like, of course, we can say something. I just kept a few words with us. So let's go through over here, right? So let's see, we have few words over here. So let's say like R-E-S-T-A-U, right? R-E-S, right? T-A-U-R-A-N-T. We thought it is restaurant, something, 3 syllables, but to be surprised, it's going to be only 2 syllables. So in that case, the native English speakers, they drop few things, let's say like over here. So rest house. So now AU, I mean this syllable is going to be dropped out, so it becomes restaurant. It is going to become only two sounds, restaurant, by the way. And second, of course, even I used to pronounce the word next called like vegetable, and of course I used to pronounce this as a vegetable something, and of course I felt, yeah, good, it's pretty sound good. But unfortunately, after some time, I came to know that this is not vegetable, but of course it becomes vegetable. It becomes only two sounds. So by the way, here we are gonna drop out these vowel E, so it becomes like veg table. So it becomes only three sound instead of vegetable. Instead of four, we are having only vegetable. So it's going to be only three sounds. The same way over here. Oh my God, this is something too bad because I used to even pronounce before I knew it. So I used to pronounce like it's a family. So it's even I used to say like, how are you guys? How is your family? And of course I used to say that, but now I don't say it because it's going to be only family. It's going to be only two sounds by dropping another vowel I sound. So this will become family. So by the way, the same thing over here. We are going to drop another vowel, so it becomes vehicle. It's not going to become vehicle. It's going to become just vehicle. Two syllables. And over here we have, but over here this case we are going to drop one consonant and one vowel. That's both together. We are going to drop it out, and we are going to just, okay, let's just pretend as if there is no these two letters. That's B and A. So this will become like probably. I probably go with you. Something did we? So by the way, right, it's going to be easy to frame into sentence. So let's try. Next we have like Wednesday. I used to think we have three syllables, but fortunately it's going to be only two sound. So over here we are going to elide one consonant D, and the next is going to be E sound, which means vowel. So this will become this Wednesday. So this will become like just Wednesday instead of Wednesday. This will become Wednesday. Okay, definitely that's a good, good news for us, because from today onwards we are not going to sound as a Wednesday, but of course we are going to sound as Wednesday. So definitely. Okay, next second we have, this is going to become like just Feb, right? So we are going to just drop it out these two, so this will become February. So the same way, this is something so weird sometimes, because I used to sound, or even the English language learners, especially basic learners, they often pronounce this as business, but of course this is not going to become, because this sound will be transformed into I, and this is going to become again I, so this will become like business. So again, two sound going to reduce. This is not going to become business, but of course this is going to become just business. All right. So once again over here, this is going to become just camera. We're going to drop down this E, and of course this is something very often people confuse. People in the sense, the learners, we get confused. This will become as woman. This is not going to become woman. Of course this is going to become like as a woman. So like woman. So this is going to become just woman, and of course the the plural sound both will become like E sound. The short vowel E. This is okay, short vowel E. So it will become like women. So let's say like there are 5 women waiting for me. Okay, just for making fun. That's okay, right? By the way, no women is waiting for me. Right. So over here next we have beverage. So we are going to drop down like Vav, and we are going to drop down these E, and of course here a vowel will become I sound, E sound, so it become like beverage. All right. So here again, so whenever we find like ER followed by Y, definitely E is going to be silent, is going to be elided, so this will become every. It's not going to become every, but of course it's going to be every. So let's say like every man and woman, every man and woman, definitely, because it's going to be singular Okay, so it's every, let's say like every day, every woman, right? So like everywhere, nowhere. Okay, by the way. And of course, again, same thing. We are going to just make like different. So over here, E is going to be silent, and the same way, right? This E we will convert into short vowel E sound. So this will become development, develop. So over here, E is going to be silent, and this E has E carries the sound of short E sound, okay, vowel. So this will become development. And once again, so this will convert into grocery. So by the way, now E is going to be elided. E is going to be vanish. So let's just vanish. We don't want this E. I mean, especially for sound, I don't mean in the writing form. In the writing form, definitely E is going to be there. We are going to carry the E, but I mean, it's only for pronunciation. Is going to be, we just need to throw out this E, right? So again, so whenever we find ORY, and now O is going to be silent, we have one O here, and next we also have O here. So it's going to become history, and victory. Right, this is in terms of British English, and if it is going to be American English, it is going to become like history. So still, the T sound will change into flap T. Okay, so which means that the flap T means the sound of the T will become the sound of D, but it is not exactly a D. So that's called like flap T. So by the way, next time let's try to discuss on this too. Right, so this will become history, and this will become, of course, victory, and of course this is going to become literature. So E is going to be silent, literature, and this will become definitely, again, we are going to drop out these vowel E. So this will become evening, and definitely we will have this chocolate. So now again, E is going to be silent, chocolate. And of course, this is something we will have as miserable, right? This is going to become definitely miserable, like let's say like ZRA. So MIZRA, miserable. So this will become just miserable. So it's going to become just three sounds. And by the way, traveling, and again we are going to drop E sound. So this will become traveling, and definitely once again we're going to drop out O. So this will become just Catholic. It's not going to become Catholic. It's going to become just Catholic. And again, once again, average. So by here, we are going to drop out vowel E, and over here we are going to change this vowel A into short vowel E. So it will become average. Okay, average. So this average. So this will become. And now let's come back to the second thing, right? So number 2, right? So we have just discussed number 1. So if we are so much, pretty care about this, and by the way, you and I are not going to commit any blunder mistake. By the way, we are just learners, so sometimes now and then we also do commit mistake, but that's okay, right? And okay, so that's the first one. And by the way, I have lots of examples, right? So we'll discuss in future, right? Because I know, right, we cannot spend lots of time on this. We have lots of examples. And okay, and number two it says, right, like every identical pronunciation, we don't have same spelling. Sometimes, like in the previous one, right, we also try to discuss about the pronunciation, same pronunciation when we have different spelling, and of course, and sometimes we have different pronunciation with the same spelling too, which I think we also try to discuss in the last episode. So we will discuss only today, right, different spelling with the same pronunciation, but they give different meanings. So this is something, so they give a very subtle pronunciation, not a very huge pronunciation difference. So the first That's why, you know, it says because of these, right, the learners are giving so much of tremendous pressure because of this. Because when we have the same two pronunciation, but they are different in meaning, they are different in, you know, the spelling. But when you know, the learner come across these two words together, maybe let's say like in the same context, let's say like in the same in a story something, the learners often confuse it. So but over here again, okay, I'm here with a solution, so let's try to see some of them. So let's get back over here, we'll see, you know, the together. So here we are in the second here, right? Over here, I think you can see that. So we have WITCH, which, as you know, right? A woman who does lots of magic, but of course, she does those magical powers. She spells so many magical powers, but they don't use in a proper way. They use for the, you know, in an, you know, in not for a good thing, by the way. So they are called witch, a woman, right? A woman who does lots of, you know, magical powers. They have magical powers, but they use those magical powers not for a good thing, by the way, right? So by the way, over here, so both WITCH and WHICH, so both both okay give the same sound, but of course, by the way, you know the difference, okay, the difference in pronunciation. So we have, like, when we have objects or things in you know, like different options, if we can take either this one or that one, so we just ask like, which one do you like? Okay, let's like, which pen do you like? Okay, is it either red or the blue something? So we use, when we have two options, which one we need to go with that. So by the way, we have the same pronunciation, but we have different spelling, and also we have, you know, different meaning. Okay, that's something very fun. Okay, and here we go. NEED and KNED, both we have different spellings, but both giving the same pronunciation. But by the way, right, so all these they have a different meaning, by the way, right? You know, or even if we don't know, by the way, right, we have dictionary, we have online Google, we can try to know the different meanings. Okay, that is going to be just a piece of cake. I know we can do that because we all are trying to learn. We love this language so much, you know, that's why we can make it. Okay, and of course next we have night, KNIGHT and NIGHT, and of course we know once again KNIGHT, night means, of course, it is a soldier, right, who fight for kings, for his honor, for his respect, and for okay, for his dignity. Definitely we know that. And of course night, we know, hello, good night, see you. This is what, okay, we go with that. And over here next, what we have is, it's CALF and COUZH. Again, by the way, over here we are gonna draw a consonant L, so this will become calf, and of course COUZH, calf. Of course, you know, okay, the meaning of this. So both give the same sound pronunciation, but by the way, they have a different meaning. So next, again, we have another one, REIGN and RAIN. Both, they give the same pronunciation, both sound, but by the way, they have a different meaning. So the same will like KNO, right? Then NO, no, I don't want to do that. I know this. Okay, so we have a different meaning for it. And of course, now we have GUESS, guess, and GUESC. By the way, we know that guess, this we use as a verb, we use this as a noun. So gaze, of course, we know, right? Of course, by the way, I have few guests in my home. I have to go soon. So we say that. And of course, we have over here BRIDGE and BREEZE, bridge. We have the same pronunciation, both these. And by the way, these four, they are, let's say, like one of the most, okay, I mean, two of the most problematic things ever every learner faces. So by the way, we have this SNAKE and SNACK. We often mispronounce, and of course we got lots of, you know, into the trouble. So by the way, this we know snake is, of course, it is an animal, right? It's a long, lean body animal. Okay, they just creep on, okay, under the grass, something, we know that. So here we just sound like snake, snake. So by the way, okay, already you can see it's ei sound, so snake. So if we concentrate in, like Manipuri people, by the way, right? If we concentrate, we have this one legs like, is it chain up? We have no chain up, atap. We have this chain up sound, so it becomes like snake, snake, snake. Okay, and over here we have this just a sound. Okay, let's say like it's a bat, bat. So that has a sound like snake, snake. That's it. So let's say like I want to have some snacks. Definitely, but again, like because of mispronunciation, that's okay. But based on the context, we just can decide which could be. Whether is it, if somebody says, "I want to have some snacks," and very sure, okay, most of the people are not very crazy. Most of the people are not that much weird. People will ask this one, but of course they are going to ask this one. So maybe based on the context, we can just decide: is it this one or that one? All right. So the lastly, but not the least. Right, so over here we have dessert and we have desert, but of course most of the time we feel like, of course, both of them are giving the same pronunciation, both sound, but of course they are different. So the first one, dessert, is going to become as a dessert, okay, dessert, and of course the second one is going to become as a desert, something. So by the way, you know what's meant by okay, desert. So desert is such an empty place where we don't find lots of trees, and of course we don't find almost everything is so empty. It is a barren land, definitely. And of course dessert, of course, it is a sweet side dish, let's say, right? We serve at the end of the food. So of course we have these two things. And for today, I think few examples will be okay for today. So let's try to discuss hopefully in future many more. So let's come back. We just had done the second thing, and of course just two more. So let's try to make it go as soon as possible. So first, third one, number 3, which is going to be some practice tips. So by the way, right? So it's an every English language learner, right? We feel that sometimes like, if I don't have English grammar, I cannot speak. So English grammar, obsessive thinking on English grammar becomes a huge blunder. It becomes, a huge barricade, right? It becomes like, oh my God, I cannot speak English at all because I don't know English grammar. Oops, it's too bad situation, right? And I know, right, most of the English language learners, let's say like English as a second English as a second language learners, especially we, like India, right? We have been studying English for at least 10 years, but like after studying of English as a 10 years, we don't speak English because one reason, definitely, we study English as a subject, not as a language. So by the way, so if we are going to learn English as a language, by the way, you and I can speak English this way, right? So that's why. So now let's remember. Let's not just think about grammar when we try to speak language, because every learner we commit mistake. And come on, let's forget about English language learners. Even the native English speakers, they also commit so many mistakes. That, of course, I have lots of proof, and of course you also can have lots of proof, right, when we start watching Hollywood movies. So now let's remember, if we try to memorize, let's say like some of the ready-made expressions. Let's say like, for example, if I want to introduce myself, we have some, ready-made expressions. Let's memorize it and let's try to do those changes wherever we need that. So if we started memorizing some of the expressions, some of the good expressions which we can use based on the context, by the way, it is going to be memorized, everything is going to be in our head. So we speak, everything comes out. By the way, okay, let's say like when you and I speak in our mother tongue, we never consider about grammar. We just think about, only the content. What am I going to express? What I really want to, speak about it. So by the way, the same thing, when we start learning English language, let's remember, let's just forget about the grammar. Let the grammar be with us. Okay, by the way, so when we started caring so much about something, that something will run away for us. That's pretty true, right? So when we started neglecting a little bit, by the way, those negligence things will started chasing us. So let's remember one thing. Let's not focus on grammar all the time. Let we try to speak in English, or let's try to speak the language which we are targeting to acquire. So in that case, the English grammar will come automatically. So that's why I just want to say, okay, let's not completely avoiding, but of course, let's try to avoid English grammar. Let English grammar come with us. All right. And of course, the last one, yes, this is something very, very important that you and I need to do this. So the point number 4 is we have to listen to the native English speakers often. Because by the way, we need to listen to the English because we want to learn this that language. So in that case, here we have lots of advantages, because first thing, we will start recognizing the pronunciation of each and every particular word. And of course, by the way, one bigger challenge in learning English language is, let's remember, and you can even let's recollect the first and second 2 points where we need to concentrate, we need to do each and every word research, because we cannot just guess what could be the pronunciation of that word based on the spelling. So that's why we have come up this topic like, do not dare to learn English language by guessing. Definitely we can't do that. We cannot guess at all. So let's not guess what is going to be the pronunciation of that particular word based on the spelling. So let's remember that one. So for instance, if we want to improve English well, so let's remember a few things. Let's listen to the English native speakers very often. Of course, we have lots of things to do. We get everything at the tip of the finger. Okay, on the tip of the finger, because we have mobile phone, we can search everything else. We have Google, right? We have YouTube. Of course, we have, for instance, like Cambly English Communication. This is something very fun, a funny application. Learning a language, there should be fun. That's why. Don't be offended if I say English Cambly communication application is fun. No, that's not. The learning of the process should be fun. So we have English, English podcast. We have TED Talks. We have dictionary. We have free online learning platforms and Facebook, and of course we have so much which you and I can follow them, and of course that's thing. And by the way, let's remember one thing. Though we go with those podcasts or everything else, but let's remember one thing. There has to be a coach, or there has to be a trainer, someone who has to sit beside you, behind you, right? If there is any mistake, you have done some mistake, there has to be someone who can do the correction. Okay, this is the way, let's try to do that, or this way or that way. Right? So this is thing. So let's remember. Also, let's try to keep someone, a friend, of course, maybe in the form of friend, maybe in the form of coach, or maybe in the form of training, so as we can talk the language which we love so much. Okay, so and now the great news is, right now Overseas Point has all the facilities, right? Experienced teachers, trainer, coaches, right, with a high range of teaching tools. And and right now I really want to tell you that, right, you can reach us anytime, right, by visiting our office, that's in the Palace compound, under parking, anytime. Or you can try to contact us anytime with a number, let's say like it's 908-940, all right, so that's 8261. So I repeat again, the number is 908, right, 940 8261. So this is the contact number. You can contact anytime, or you can even just visit our website, and you can just type overseas point info. Of course, you can find all the details, and of course the office is going to open between 9 to 5 o'clock, definitely. So anytime you can visit us. And of course, by the way, thank you very much for being with me. And if you have any query and questions, please drop your comments and queries to the the chat box, or let's say to the comment box. So once again, thank you very much for joining me from the other side of the screen. Okay, so see ya. Okay, good night. And by the way, let's see next week, which means Saturday, all right, at the same time, at the same forum right here. So until then, bye bye, see you, thank you.